Hello and welcome to another Knife Chats Live. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not quite prepared to do this tonight. I was planning on doing it tomorrow, but I'm hit with a bunch of meetings tomorrow night until about 10 o'clock, and after a whole day of work, I really don't think I'm going to be able to do anything tomorrow. But I wanted to do this and get a few things out of the way right away. Hi, Rich. Um, the first thing is, as you know, I've been putting coins in the jar here based on how well my videos have been doing. And a couple of the videos this week did remarkably well, easily went over 200 views within the first 24 hours. So, and then a couple other ones, uh, did marginally well. In any case, since the last live, I've got all these coins to drop in there. 12 coins to throw in there. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And that only leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 more to go before I got to run off and buy a Sodbuster Jr. And give it away to somebody. Haven't quite figured out how that's going to happen, but someone, once this jar gets full, is going to get a Sodbuster Jr. And as you know, this Sunday, December 8th, I will be drawing for the other giveaway, the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. That is the people who get the whistle, the stickers, the cleaning cloth, the the little classic SD. Oh, this is the stag bone. Like I said, I'm not really ready for this. The stag bone cub lockback, and then the Mora. So all of that's going to be going to somebody this Sunday. I'll be picking the winner then, and I'll announce it sometime on Monday. Not sure how that's going to go because it's a little hectic this weekend too. Also wanted to mention real quick, if you did not go over and check out Jersey Knife Guy, he has asked us to decorate our knife pad, whatever, our place where we're doing our videos for Christmas. I've started, got a little Snoopy ornament here. I'll do some more decorating. You'll probably only see it during the live shots because quite frankly, a lot of my stuff is done ahead of time, and then I post it when I have time to put it up. So the pre-recorded stuff will not be decorated, but by the next live chat next week or the following week, I'll have this place decorated for Christmas. Okay, Jersey Knife Guy, don't get mad at me. It's going to take a little while for me to get around to it, but I am working on it. And if you were on the SMKW Army, if you're a member of the SMKW Army, you saw yesterday I posted for Woody Wednesday uh, a bunch of knives with wood handles, and well, they're still out, so I thought I would go over those because I'm really not prepared to do anything yet. But before I do that, besides collecting knives, I also collect some other stuff, and I got something really cool in the mail this week that I thought I'd share, and it has to do with bartending stuff. I collect old bar tools also, and I got one that I don't think you'll ever see again unless you're lucky. They're just not around that often, and this is the Newton Bar Boy. Talk about a weird thing. So you've got your little measuring cup over here, your shot glass for your pony shots and stuff, all the way up to a jigger. 1.5 ounces that it'll hold in the cup. You got a bottle opener there, and then underneath here you got your corkscrew that comes out. Um, I saw it. I've been looking for one of these for a long time. I know it's not knife related, but there's plenty of bar knives out of there, and that's why I end up looking for other bar stuff. So just indulge me for a second. This is really a kind of cool thing. There was a patent applied for it. It came out way back in the 1940s, shortly after World War II. Somebody came up with this idea to put your little measuring cup for your shots and everything on with a corkscrew, and you basically grab it like so, pull out the cork and everything. But talk about something funky you just don't see every day. A corkscrew on a little thing. Uh, and if you're in bar stuff, thanks, Rich. Yeah, if you're into bar stuff, this is one of those things you just don't see every day. There wasn't a whole lot of them made. It's out of where is it? Out of someplace in Connecticut that begins with an N. In any case, it's Newton's Bar Boy, and somewhere in there, Newcastle? No, New Haven. New Haven, Connecticut is where it was made. So Newton was located in New Haven, Connecticut, and they came out with the Bar Boy shortly after World War II. And I also did a video a while ago about the Camillus Hostess knife, and it's because after World War II, a big thing in America was people coming back and making their own. They'd have their little house parties. You see them in like I Dream of Jeannie and all that stuff, where everyone is at home drinking booze like crazy. This is what that was really designed for that home entertainer who's going to be hosting the big parties and everything. And they wanted to have their Newton Bar Boy. Any case, moving on. I did actually pick up a new one this week too, a new waiter's tool. That's usually what they call them now. They used to call them a bar tool. This one's shaped like a fish, so you know why I picked it up. And it's, there's your. It does have a blade on these because that's for opening the label on your wine bottle. But I'm actually working on a video talking about bartender knives, waiter tools, and the history behind those. So you'll see this and a lot of other knives in a future video. But now I'm just going to go over a lot of those knives that I showed in. Thanks, John. That I showed on SMKW Army, all of these knives with wood handles, and a couple that you didn't see. I'm going to start right here with this one. This is the Rough Rider Ulu Skinner, and this was one of the first kind of knives that I picked up like this, these wide belly skinners. And I tell you what, these things are excellent for around the kitchen for cutting, because it's basically a short chef's knives, great for your rocking cuts and everything, and slicing and everything. And this has got enough belly so that if you're using it camping, it'd be just really good around the campfire for cutting up meats, cheeses, and stuff like that. And what's really cool about this one, it's got zebra wood handles. But if you notice here, they're actually removable, so you can actually clean this thing up really good. Unfortunately, Rough Rider decided that this was not one that they were going to keep. You can see it's a very old pattern number, RR776. And among other things, with the nylon sheath, it also came with a little sharpening stone. Really good knife. It's one of my favorites in this in the Ulu Skinner type knives, and I do use it quite often, despite it looking pretty close to new, because basically I'm using it in the kitchen a lot. Sharpens up well too. So moving on, a knife a lot of people were asking about yesterday, and I guess they didn't realize that Opinel made a picnic knife with a really good corkscrew on it. And it's a typical Opinel. And if you remember, I did a video on Opinels where I said I probably would not buy another Opinel because they just aren't the kind of knife that I would normally pick up because of the, I'm not crazy about the locking mechanism. This one made me rethink it. I was thinking I'd probably end up picking up the Opinel mushroom knife, but instead I went for this one, and I am really happy I did. This is a really good Opinel. It's a number 10, so the blade is 4 inches long. The handle is about 5¼ inches long, and got the corkscrew on the side. And if you can hear that, hopefully you can, I can. Listen to that. It's got a snap in that corkscrew. Is that not loud? I mean, it's a good snap. And it feels comfortable in your hand when you're trying to twist it in and pull out a cork. I mean, yeah, you do feel the blade a little bit, but it's really not too bad. And the handle is nice and big, so you got a lot to grip onto. And that corkscrew is also very long, so you can really get it into a bottle. And like I said, good snap on there. And if you notice, that's because right there somehow they have put a spring in behind this corkscrew. So the corkscrew is sprung, but the blade is not. So the blade is your typical friction folder on an open L, and it's got a good ring lock or whatever, collar lock, whatever you want to call it. I can't remember what open L calls it. It's like verbo lock or something like that, but it's smooth enough, and when you bring it that way, it stops, so you can close the blade, and then you can obviously move it back over and lock it in the closed spot. So the open L was one that a lot of people had questions about. The other one that people asked a lot about was this one here by Cattleman's Cutlery. I do not know if they're still out there or not. This is it's a hobo pattern knife. It just has the fork with the cap lifter and the main clip blade. Yes, it is on a trapper frame, but you know, it's a take apart knife. You take let's see, can it? Which, yeah, take apart knife. So you've got your fork in one hand and your knife in the other, so you can go out on a picnic and eat your steak with it. Really well made. The blade still is not the best. I believe it's either 420 or 440. I would have to look it up again. But the build quality is really solid. I mean, once those blades are down, this thing does not shift at all. The zebra wood scales are really nice, and the finish is okay. These knives are only like I think it was like between 20 and $25, something like that. Pens are nice. The CC logo in it is really nice too. I bought this one because I had bought the series is the Sage Brush Trail series by Cattleman's Cutlery. I bought it because I also already had this one, and also in the zebra wood, and I was impressed with the quality of this. Not as good as a Rough Rider, but better than a Steel Warrior. That's the way I would classify it. If you're looking at older knives, I would say it's right up there with like the knives that Colonial used to make. So not quite as good as Imperial or Charade. Definitely not like a case, but as good a quality as you would have gotten from one of the old Colonial knives. And that was Cattleman's Cutlery. And actually, Cattleman's Cutlery is making all sorts of knives. They even make a knockoff of a Spyderco Dragonfly. So they do both modern and traditional pattern knives. Their better line of knives are known as Roper, I believe. And I haven't picked up one of those yet, but I will have to try one someday. But even their economy ones are not bad. They're pretty decent. So if you notice, right there, if you notice, that blade is still tight. And I have used this quite a bit also, because when I was picking these up, I was picking them up, using them, testing them before I would do a video on them. And the Cattleman Cutlery ones were pretty decent. I think everyone knows what this one is. It was not showing up in there. It's one of those little copies, which is, if you listen, it ratchets around, and then it has the ring lock back here to hold it closed. You got to pull up on the ring lock to close it. This one is made in South Africa. I think they started making them in South Africa sometime in the 70s or 80s. The pattern came to South Africa from Germany. They were originally made and started making them in 1902 in Germany. They were not continuously made in Germany up until whenever they went to South Africa to make them. But it's a pattern that came from there, and it was made in Germany for their colonies in South Africa at the time, from what I understand. And it really hasn't changed much over time. What I can tell you about them is this one looks pretty good and shiny, but that's because I just polished it all up. These use carbon steel, and the blade will eventually get a patina naturally just sitting out. So I've got another one that I have not done anything with, and it's got a nice gray patina on that shiny blade. But this is 1070 carbon steel, so it's easy to sharpen, but also gets dull pretty quickly. And it is kind of like your Opinels in that it is a basic like peasant knife or friction folder. It just has an interesting locking mechanism in the lock back here. Uh, Pretty cool knives. They're very crude. They're very rough. If you notice here, you see the seam here where the two portions are glued together. You could sit here and sand it down and make it look a little bit better, but I don't really bother too much with it. Another knife that a lot of people are asking about was this one. I've done a video on this. I've hidden it. I've got to do a new video on it. This is the Mercury Michael one. The handle material on this is olive wood, and it is known as a mushroom knife for those who don't know it. They always, well, most of the good ones have a little snap here, which is actually used to hook onto something on a vest or something, because you're taking this out in the woods to cut mushrooms. So the blade steel doesn't have to be very good. In the case of the one by Mercury, it's 440 stainless steel. Most of them use 420 because you're using it to cut mushrooms. It's not like they're really, hard. If you notice, it's got a bunch of jimping along the back of the blade here. That is not for your finger. That is actually there to knock dirt and stuff off the mushroom, because you don't want to soak your mushrooms in water and stuff. And the brush here is usually boar's hair or something of that nature. It's kind of a stiff brush, and it is used to also knock dirt and stuff off the mushroom. And if you notice on the side here, most of them will have some kind of a scale on the side going up to 4 centimeters, and that is to know that you are harvesting a legal mushroom. This one also has a pair of tweezers in the top. I'm assuming that's for pulling things out of your hand when you're getting thorns and stuff in your fingers from harvesting mushrooms or something. Nice brass pins. Like I said, it's olive wood, very good strong back spring. Mushroom knives usually either have a hawkbill blade such as this, or a different style of blade. And I will have to do a couple of new videos on mushroom knives in the future, so people can see a little bit more about them. But it's an interesting knife, and that's why I picked it up. Never saw it before. The first one I ever bought was by Rough Rider. Another wood knife. I'm going to be doing a video very soon about this knife, and I'll explain everything about it, so I'm not going to go into great detail about it. This one happens to be by Right Edge, but I've just done a video on this pattern, so you'll just have to wait and see about that one. And then another one that I've really got to get the video done for is this one here. I want to actually do a video on this one soon, and this is the Falcon or Falcone 5.5 inch, is it? Yeah, 5.5 inches closed stiletto with the nice little blade here. Nice lock and everything, but I want to talk a lot about this knife later in a video, because it's pretty crudely made. If you notice the way the handles are, and I've noticed this on a lot of stilettos out of Italy, and this is actually out of Italy. The handle is olive wood. You can feel every pin on this thing. I mean, it is only a $20 or $25 knife, but I don't know why these things are made so crudely. And I wonder if anyone ever talks about like repairing them, smoothing this out, getting the pin smooth, because it seems like it's half finished. And I'm wondering if people who buy these kind of stilettos actually go and mod them. If you were to buy something like this, would you just sand everything down, get it back to fitting your hand better, or what? Because that's what I'm really thinking about doing. But I want to see what other people think about that too. So that's something else I'll be talking about. And then had two of these out. I don't know where the other one is. Kissing Crane, the brown Mule, a sod buster, another knife made out of wood. And I like this one. a little bit smaller than your case sod buster. Well, this one isn't. It's just about the same size, about 4 inches uh, closed, and got a blade that is blade is right at 3 1/4 or so, with a less than 3 inch cutting edge. But the brown mule, um, really decent knife. I mean, the steel is right up there with case and everything. Um, Feels good in the hand, and easily half the price of your case side buster. So I don't know where this one was actually made. I don't know. I'm assuming it was probably made in China. Yeah, I can't tell. Anyway, like I said, I really wasn't prepared to do much tonight. I was just coming in to let you know about the money that I'm putting in for the Sodbuster Junior, and I'm mentioning again that it's going to be Sunday night tonight. I'll be doing the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So if you haven't put yourself on that video yet, and entering hashtag 1000 GAW in a comment, so that I can try and find you and give you the prize. Try and get over there and do that. One last knife I want to look at in wood back here. Let me pull it up. And this one is really kind of cool. If you haven't seen it before, I really got to talk more about this one in the future too. If you notice, it's called the Woodpecker, but if you notice there, it was made by Smoky Mountain Knife Works, uh, serialized number 058. I believe Brian Wilhoit said that they either made 250 or 500 of these. I had no clue about it when I got it. He's not sure what kind of wood they used on it, but that's why why the toothpick got the name Woodpecker. Um, and what I found out from Brian Wilhoit was this was actually made by Queen for Smoky Mountain Knife Works back in, I think, the 1990s. So I came across it on eBay, not knowing what it was or anything else, just saw it, and I said, well, I'll see what happens. And I put in a buy it now price, and the guy took it. And it was like around 30 bucks or something. And I thought, wow, it was a gamble, I guess, at the time, but in the end, he lost out. And this is as smooth as can be. The transitions are just fantastic. Knife's got a few scuffs on here and there, but really well made, well built, nice brass liners. The wood handles, I do not know what the wood is. Brian Wilhoit did say what it was, I think. But you can see it. It's got a beautiful color to it. Nickel silver bolsters, and I believe the steel, oh yeah, 1095 carbon steel, which is really interesting because being that old, whoever had it was taking care of it, because there's no pitting or staining on this, even with the etch on there of the Woodpecker, which really looks kind of cool. But anyway, there you have it. That's about all I can talk about tonight. Already losing my voice. It's been a very long week. But think about decorating. If you're one of those people out there doing some videos on YouTube, if you're one of us fellow knife nuts who are doing videos, Jersey Knife Guy came up with a nice idea. I mean, go ahead, put up a Christmas decoration for the season. Get a little festive. Let people know, and enjoy what you're doing. Um, Speaking of which, I was going to be doing this tomorrow night, but like I said, I got a bunch of meetings tomorrow night, so I couldn't do it. And here's another little wood-handled knife I've got, and as you can see, that's why I'm not going to be here tomorrow, because I got a bunch of meetings at church, and to try and figure out what we can do to help people around the holiday season. And that's what I'm going to be doing tomorrow night, seeing how we can, share the spirit, make people happy. There's more to life than knives, but I tell you what, I know a lot of you guys out there enjoy knives and you will find some enjoyment out of the knives, and that's why part of what I'm doing is trying to get these giveaways going on for the 1,000. Hey Tom, for the 1,000 subscribers, which will be happening this week Sunday, and then the other one. The way it's going, I got 10 coins to go. The way you guys have been responding, I should have those 10 coins in the jar within a week. So I'll have myself another Sidebuster Junior on this table, and somebody's going to be winning that too. But first, the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, which will be happening this Sunday. I'll be announcing the winner on Monday. Thanks very, very much for joining me tonight. I really got to wrap it up. I'm losing my voice among other things right now. Like I said, it's been a long week. I really appreciate all of the support that you guys have been giving me recently and in the past. And I look forward to having you guys around for a long time. And I will do what I can to live up to your expectations. Uh, Jersey Knife Guy gave a really good shout out to me yesterday, talking about how good my channel was. So I know I need to definitely step up the game a bit, make sure you guys do not get disappointed in what I'm doing. And I will do my best to keep you not only entertained, but informed, because that's the other part that I'm interested in, is sharing information about knives. And that's why I'm here. And now I'm definitely rambling. Thanks again very much for everything you guys do for me, showing up, your comments. I really do appreciate it all. And I will talk to you again soon. Got a show on Sunday, and then going to do the drawing, and there'll be an announcement on the drawing hopefully by Monday. As it is, take care. Let you go now. Thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you soon.